Having an accurate and up-to-date inventory of your books is important for quite a few pretty obvious reasons. The first being solely for your own reference and ability to sell your books. You can't sell a product if you don't know what product you have. So, I recommend periodically double checking the actual stock and inventory you have left of your books and ordering them as needed. The last time I took a official inventory was back in January before my first book signing. I like to keep about 10 copies of each of my books on hand. They stay on this first shelf here, and as of now, I have the room to do so. If I ever publish enough books that keeping 10 of each on hand is too many for the shelf, well, that's kind of a good problem to have, and I will gladly buy a new shelf to support these books. What has prompted me to do this inventory today and take you guys with me is that I have a book signing or an author event coming up next month. I am participating in it's kind of just like a sidewalk street sale around the town. I don't quite know what to call it, but it is in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. So it's a little bit away from me, but I'm quite excited to be going down there. And I will be there on Saturday, July 27th from 2 to 4 at Fireside Bookshop's author event. So I'll be there signing books and bringing them with me. So to do that, I need to know how many I have. Before I count the books that are already on my shelf, I want to go through this box. Yesterday, I had a box of 23 author copies of Unbound arrive. And look at how pretty they are. They no longer have that not for resale stripe. You can actually see the whole cover, and I love them. I ordered 23, I received 23. So I don't need to count the actual number of books because I already did that. I already know how many I have. But what I want to do first is make sure all of them arrived okay. Occasionally this happens. Something comes with a scuff, the cover gets bent, some sort of issue happens that causes an imperfection in the book, and if that happens, I'm not going to be sending out a book with its back cover bent in half. I'm just personally not going to do that. So I always check, I make sure they're all up to standard. On the few occasions where I have found imperfections, I contact KDP's customer support. I tell them what happened, and they'll give you a refund if the books come damaged. They'll need photos of the book. They'll need, legit proof that they came damaged. They'll have a couple questions for you, but usually they resolve it pretty quickly. So I glanced these over yesterday, and truthfully, I think they all came okay, actually, but just in case I want to take a bigger deep dive in, I also want to pull aside the author copies or the pre-orders that people have already ordered. 13 of them in here do not belong to me, so I need to pull those out because those 13 will not be counted towards my actual inventory. This is really the only one that raised a red flag, and that is because there is kind of a chunk missing out of the top of the spine. So I'm going to put this one aside for now. I have also pulled one aside for myself for personal use, and I'm pulling one aside because I might just be giving one away this upcoming weekend. Lauren D. Falter and I are both publishing next week, June 11th and June 12th for our books. So we have decided to do a live on June 8th at 5 p.m. EST. We're going to be talking about publishing. We're both publishing our 4th book, actually. But then we're also going to be just answering some questions, hanging out, and doing a giveaway. Now, I will be giving away a copy of Unbound, but if the person who wins would prefer a copy of The Magi or Beldestein or Illusion of Fear, I can make that happen. I don't want to put words in Lauren's mouth. I'm pretty sure she's doing the same thing, but double check with her if you win the giveaway. For now, I have to officially put these copies aside that I am pulling aside, and then we're going to do the counting because truthfully, I don't know how many I have left on the shelf. I know I have, it looks like by a glance over, more than 5 of each. How many more than 5 each? We'll find that out soon. For the book signing in July, I want to bring 15 to 20 copies of both The Magi and Unbound, and 10 to 15 of Illusion of Fear and Beldestein. For Theater Memories, the book I co-authored with McKenna Rowell, I will be bringing those as well, most likely 15 to 20. My final numerical decisions will be made once I have finished counting how many I have. What you cannot see in front of me is there is a blanket spread on the floor that is clean. I just washed my hands, and I have this handy dandy little board of how many copies I currently own of all of my books, so that from there I can be like, okay, I have 7 copies of The Magi, I need to order 8 of them, or whatever numbers. Pretty basic math at that point. I will be placing this order most likely in the next week or two to give all of these author copies plenty of time to arrive. And on top of that, say something happens and some of them come damaged, I can place a new order. The reason I am waiting until next week or the week after is in case any more copies of Unbound are sold. Because if you want a pre-order package of Unbound, $18 flat rate in the US, you are only paying for the book and the shipping. And then from there, you will also be getting a free ribbon bookmark, a free sticker, and all of the books will be individually wrapped and tied together with ribbon, looking pretty. So if you want one, it could be this very copy that I have. You should buy it now. Just saying. Let's count some books. These books right here that stick out farther are because I have additional copies in the back. Because I can see all of my copies of Theater of Memories, I'm gonna count those first. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of them. So from now, I'm just gonna pull them off the shelf. It's pretty straightforward, it's pretty self-explanatory. When you are inventorying, you count the books, and then you run the calculations. How many do I want and am hoping to sell during this book signing? I think because Theater of Memories is a standalone, there is a chance more of them are going to sell. When it comes to Belle Destine, I really have to have somebody come who has already read my books or they want to buy the whole trilogy. So I'll bring less of the ones that are later in the series just because realistically I won't sell as many of them. But book 1 in the Magi trilogy, Unbound, works as a standalone, same with Theater of Memories. I'm gonna bring a little more. It really comes down to what works for you and how many books you are selling. You know from past experience how many you can realistically estimate, and then give yourself some extra for a goal of sales. I usually overestimate how many I'm going to sell because I would rather have extra books than run out of them. So again, pretty self-explanatory. Count, run your calculations, basic algebra, basic arithmetic, actually, figure out how many you need. Everybody has been counted. They are now all stacked around me here. And let's do our actual calculations now. Let's run through these numbers. For Unbound, I have 5 copies. If you were keeping track with me throughout the video, you will know that number should be 7 or 8. I just pulled a couple extra aside and I'm only counting 5 as of now. For Magi, I have 12 copies of the Magi. I have 10 copies of Illusion of Fear, 7 of Belle Destine, and 10 of Theater of Memories. So I actually don't need to order a ton of books. I will put an order in probably for 15 more copies of Unbound, another 8 of the Magi, 5 of Illusion of Fear, about 8 of Belle Destine, and then probably 5 more of Theater of Memories as well. These numbers are all susceptible to change for a couple different reasons. One of them is just financial reasons. Until I sell these books, this money's coming out of my pocket. Can I afford to do so? Yes, I do believe I can. Another reason is I'm really hoping I get some more orders in the next week and a half or so until Unbound comes out. So if I need to order additional books because more sold, no complaints. I will gladly place that order. Another consideration, this is where it doesn't get necessarily complicated, but you need to put a little bit more thought into how many you're actually ordering. I told you I like to keep 10 copies on hand. So if I am bringing, and I'm making these numbers right now, that I have 20 copies of the Magi coming with me, that's all I have. If I sell all of those books, then I'll be out of extra stock. But that is also the best case scenario. I want to be out of books. I would love to sell out of them. So I'm not adding that extra 10 on. I'm not going to order an extra, I guess it would be 18 copies of the Magi, so I have the 20 for the book signing and 10 extra. I'm just bringing all my books. And I will hopefully come home with a completely empty car, and I will immediately go on my computer and I will order more books. But you might be in a different position than I am. Maybe you really, really are firm that you always have those extra books, so you always order extra. That is fine, that is your decision. For me, I'm ordering what I need for the book signing and hoping that I buy enough that I can sell all of them, and then I can order new ones. This is me after the book signing. If you come and you buy my books, please come July 27th. I'll be posting more information so that you have it all written out for you. And definitely come if you're in the area because I would love to make this happen. I would love for it to be legit and to ignore that. They're all sold. They're all sold. I'm sold out. Living the dream. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I wanted it to be educational, but also fun, because this is one of those fun author jobs, author aspects, author problems to have. It's not a problem. It's not a chore. It's fun, at least to me, because it's being able to have your books and counting them in front of you and holding the actual copies of your book, but also in preparation for a fun event like a book signing or just a general author event, whatever it is you were going to. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for sticking around with it. Thank you for ordering my book, wink wink, and whatever time it is, morning, evening, or night, have a great day.